Good morning. It is Monday. Miracle Morning Monday. Market. No, let's see. What do we do? Mental toughness, marketing, mental toughness. Okay. So excited to be here. Let's talk really quick about let's do a supreme confidence. Action step last week was how much confidence do you project? This was like asking three of your closest friends to see how that went. So I actually didn't do that.
I got the
I
app.
didn't either.
You got the app. Did you
Go
feel more
girl.
confident? Did you upgrade the quality of your self-talk or reach Ed Helmstedter's book?
I know I
Any of
have a
that?
list about this long of affirmations that I'm putting on there, but I'm concentrating on the sleep one because my sleep is all over the place.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you got the app and that you're working on the affirmations. I think baby steps of any kind. I was talking to my son yesterday. He was telling me that he bought Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. And he was like, people say, what did he say? It made me think of, the whole thing of like if you're cluttered desk, cluttered mind. And I'm like, what about the whole house? And anyway, he was telling me about his experience with that and how he decided because he's like if you feel overwhelmed by having to clean your room, then just clean half of a drawer out. And so he said, you know what, I decided to clean out one cup holder in my truck. And so he started there, and by the end of the week he got the front half of the truck cleaned up. And then he was like, maybe I could pull a couple things out of the back. So now he's working out, out of the back seat of his truck.
Nice.
And then he did something in his bedroom. But anyway, I remember years ago when I found Fly Lady, and she teaches you to go to bed, shine your sink, right? And then go to bed. And she called it the Fly Lady creep, right? Because pretty soon after you have that shiny sink going on, and then you're like, you know what, I could wipe down this counter. So you wipe the counter next to the sink, and pretty quick you're just kind of going through and your habits are getting better. And it is true. And my house is much better than it was when I was in my 20s, which is really good because I'm 50 whatever now. So you always
Does
hope it
Fly
gets better.
Lady
But
still does Fly Lady still do stuff?
yeah,
So I,
she's got an app too. And actually I love hers because you can check it all off and then you can reset it. So you can make your list and check it off and reset it. Camille, you use Fly Lady's app a lot, don't you? Or you used to? Do you
I
still?
do. Yes,
uh,
I do. Am
I
I on
did years
mute? I
ago.
don't know if I'm muted.
No,
Sorry.
Nope,
we
you're
can hear
good.
you. You're
You're
good.
good.
Yeah, I use it all the time. Yeah, it's super helpful.
Well, I followed
Awesome.
her way back when there wasn't an app. So
Yeah, when she cluttered up my inbox with all the emails that she was. Yep, I love that. Okay, well, awesome. I love that you're taking the baby steps. I think it's super important. And even if you're not doing exactly what the action step is, you know what? The fact that you're getting on here and that you're taking or you're catching the recording and that you're taking the time to improve yourself, to think about these things, like it's a big deal. It matters. Where you're putting your mind really, really matters. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 21. This is Champions Evolve from Competing to Creating. So, this is our 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World class book by Steve Siebold that we're going through. And actually, the quote is by Donald Trump, who is listed as a real estate developer here. Creative people rarely need to be motivated. They have their own inner drive that refuses to be bored. They refuse to be complacent. They live on the edge, which is precisely what is needed to be successful and to remain successful. So that sounds exciting, doesn't it? I know I'm a creative person because I refuse to be bored. That is true. Okay, average performers live their lives in first gear, resisting change and avoiding risk. The masses have the same talent and opportunity as the world class, yet they choose to play it safe to avoid the pain of failure and the agony of temporary, in parentheses, defeat. Mental Toughness University, we have a scale called the 5 levels of mental toughness, which is a tool to help people determine what level they are performing at. The first level is called playing not to lose, which is doing just enough to avoid getting fired. The next level is playing to cruise, which is mentally cruising through the job without really engaging in any serious thought. The next level is playing to improve, which is when performers begin to actively engage their thoughts and feelings in the task at hand, attempting to get better. The level above this is playing to compete. This is when performers begin to believe they're capable of beating out their competition and being the best. And this level is primarily ego driven, where winning is the main objective. Performers operating at this level often become very successful and powerful, but are sometimes left with hollow feelings of, is this all there is? The highest level of is playing to win, which occurs when the performer moves from competition to creation, where the primary goal is to be the best they can be. Knowing that creativity and fear cannot coexist, these people are competing only with themselves with the objective of being better today than they were yesterday. The playing to win philosophy is rooted in a spirit based consciousness operating from thoughts of love and abundance. Fear and scarcity have no place at this level of thinking. These performers are fearlessly seeking what Dr. Abraham Maslow referred to as self actualization, or becoming all that one has the potential to become. The most powerful belief performers operating at this level possess is that they cannot fail. They can only learn and grow. With their potential in front of them, their fear behind them, champions are able to move beyond the boundaries of competition and create what the masses believe is impossible. So there you go. Thoughts about that? What did that bring up for you as I was reading that?
I absolutely love this because it feels the abundance, moving into that mindset of functioning in abundance, and that there's plenty for everyone. And I love that it's the moving from competition to creation. Like that's what we're created for, is to create. Like that's what God wants for us. So I absolutely love this.
This reminds me of Vince Lombardi, the great coach of the Green Bay Packers. He said, "Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing." And I remember it.
He also said winning isn't everything, it's the only thing.
But
Wow.
He interviewed one of his top football players, Jimmy Taylor, and he says, "Tell us about your coach. He treats us all the same, like dogs." They loved him. He was being a little facetious, but his expectations were high. His compliments and I studied his life here recently. He played at a great level, and if we surround ourselves with these kind of stories of people that have succeeded at, we're always doing what this thing suggests. I cannot fail. I can only learn and grow. Great content here this morning.
No, love that. Oh, thanks so much, Dad. That was awesome. Other thoughts?
I just like what Mary said, that moving from competition to creation. We really only compete with ourselves.
And just be better than we were yesterday, which kind of takes us back to our discussion before we read this one, a little bit about last week, and really looking at where do you want to be? Not necessarily looking at the whole end goal, which I think is also super powerful, but even that little tiny bit of just like wiping the counter now that you've got the sink clean, or getting the second cup holder cleaned out in your truck. And then having that just creep over until the whole front of the truck is clean, and then moving into the back. So I love that also, of just being a little bit better than we were yesterday. Miracle Morning has also been absolutely amazing for that for me, of just like kind of helping me keep on track. This morning I did a visualization um slash affirmation of intend your day, and it just made me so excited about today and wanting to, just like think through the different things that I have on my calendar, and then also what other kinds of things am I trying to get done, and seeing myself, getting them going. And then also looking at how sometimes you can set things in motion that will continue on. And I used to do this as a young mom when I had so much laundry and so many dishes. If I could get up and get all the machines working, right, then it was like I had buddies. And so the washing machine and the dishwasher and like everything like that, was just taking care of things. And I knew I could come back and, Fly Lady calls it reboot the laundry, right? When you're gonna go switch it over to the next thing. But
I
I was
just
on excuse me, Mary, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Well, I was doing a Miracle Morning this morning, and it was on procrastination. And I love the thing that if you got some hesitation in kicking it in, you just count backwards from 5 and get on it.
right?
Don't give yourself any more chances to dissolve your goals.
Right? I love that.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
Did you know that in the Think Up app, there's some affirmations from Miracle Morning with Hal Elrod?
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
That's fun.
fantastic.
Awesome.
I was
Mary, you had one more. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I just wanted to say, I love how you brought up that when you could get your buddies going to help, like you were a team working together.
Yep.
And I thought, wow, if I am looking for leaders to be a team with rather than to be a mom to, it will
Yep.
be a lot more fun and a lot more creative and more synergistic.
Yes. Yes. When you get your first real builder on your team, your whole life changes because you're just like, what?
So fun.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. But
Hey,
and
Brenda.
hopefully we can find those. But lots of customers also support that if we, as we work through
And they're fun too.
yeah, they are fun. Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, what was that app that Chris was referring to where how everyone's
Oh,
affirmations are on?
Think Up. Think Up is the app. It's an affirmations app
Oh,
where
okay.
you can record your affirmations so you can listen to them. It has music that you
Oh,
can add into
yeah.
the background, different types of music, and it's really easy to change
Edit.
your affirmation or your goal as you go along and not have to re-record the entire script. So it's
Yeah.
really,
Okay. Oh,
really
that's nice.
helpful.
Okay.
Okay, well, we are kind of rushing along today, and so I'm going to give you the action step for today. We have an investors meeting right after this, so I want to make sure that we're going to hop. Actually, we're just going to stop the recording. Um, Okay, so the action step for today is examine the 5 levels of mental toughness and identity. The level you inhabit most often in performance situations. Make a commitment to spend as much time in the playing to win level as possible. And I will post a picture of the 5 levels of mental toughness chart or graphic from the book in the comments underneath this video so that you will have access to examine that, look at it, figure out where you are, and then decide to move into playing to win and figure out what that looks like for you and for the goals that you have, and how you can be that creative rather than competitive person, because it's going to make all the difference. So, all right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.